Hi Paul, and in this video I'm an old man with a paddleboard and some talk about bags. I got a comment on my original video for this, the Red Paddle Co deck bag, from I think it was Multi Stevo. I'll put his name and maybe the comment up in the screen now. But what he basically said was, I'd been talking about replacing the clips on this and the clips weren't good and blah 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 blah. If you want to go and look, I'll put a link. And he said, can't be doing with all that messing about. Just get a dry bag and chuck it under the elastics. And in fairness, he's not wrong. Simple solution. Cheap Amazon dry bag. Well, this isn't. This is a Gull one from many years ago, but he said about a cheap Amazon dry bag. This is a cheap Itiwit Decathlon dry bag, Decathlon UK. This is indeed a cheap Amazon dry bag, PVC one. And with any of them, I can do exactly that. With this one, in the summer, if all I'm doing is going out for a quick paddle, I carry this with a couple of bits and pieces, maybe my little coffee maker, if I'm going to stop, bottle of water, and I do exactly what Multi Stevo suggested. Chuck it under the straps and off I go. However, the original video was about the Red Paddle deck bag, and in some respects I quite like this still, because it's got a bottle carrier on the outside and on the other side, and it's got some attachment points and strings and molly type connections, and also a pocket on the front. And so for me, I quite like that, because instead of having to shove my water bottle inside, I can pump a water bottle in the bottle pocket so I can access it easily. I can throw my keys in here so I can access them easily. I quite often carry one of my other cameras, one of my old Insta360 1Rs in here because it's waterproof. And then if I've got anything else, if I want to carry a towel or a change of clothing or whatever, then that goes inside. If you follow all the videos on this, you'll know I've replaced the zip, so it's no longer fully waterproof, it just functions now. And because I broke the zip on it, I stopped using it. And I bought this. And this is my current daily drive, if you like. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. So on a regular basis, I carry this. This is an overboard 40 litre roll top dry bag. So if I unclip this, it's got a bit of Velcro on the top and clips on the end, and it is a standard roll top dry bag. Same system as that. Same system as that. Same system as that. Same system as that. But it's kind of square. And it's a 40 litre hold all. It's got two handles on it, and it also comes with a shoulder strap that I don't use. But I like it because it's got some attachment points on it, which I tend to hang stuff from that I use a lot. It's got the two handles. It's got a zip, water resistant, not waterproof, water resistant pocket. That's where my car keys go. So everything that I want to access easy is on the outside of it. I've added on the end of it a kind of a molly connection, and on that I clip a Red Paddle pouch, waterproof pouch. In there is a camera, spare batteries for my Insta360 stuff, wind meter and gadgetry malarkey. So that sits on one end. On the other end is an Amazon dry bag, roll top one, PVC. In there is a little SLR type camera, Canon M50, old one. And then on here I've got crabs and a tie down strap and whatever, for depending on what I'm using it for. And do I take everything off every time? No, I don't. Inside I've got a mat to sit on, some mats to, some bits of microfiber to dry stuff down with, more camera stuff. I've actually got an umbrella. I've got my winter coffee making equipment where I can make a choice of coffee or hot chocolate or beverages, hot beverages of my liking, and a jet boil. And also in there I've got a change robe. So if I'm out on the water and I stop for a cup of tea or whatever, because I quite like to do that, I'll paddle out a few miles, maybe an hour or so, and then I'll stop and have a cup of tea. And in that time I can cool off. So what I chuck on, if it's chilly, is a change robe. It's not a dry robe. I don't shop at Tesco's in it. It's a red paddle change robe, which was hugely expensive at the time, and I wouldn't buy it now because it's too pricey and there's cheaper ones available. But it does the job. Because I carry a lot of stuff, because I am a geeky nerd that likes to take pictures and likes to take video and likes to do stuff like this and likes to measure the water temperature and likes to measure the wind speed and blah, blah, blah. And yes, I could put it all in a dry bag, but then every time I want something, I've potentially got to unpack stuff to get to it. If I'm out with the family, I have this one, which is pretty much the same. This is a 60 litre by Buddy Swim. I bought this when we bought my wife's paddleboard because it was at a good price. I actually would have preferred the overboard one because it's got better connections and stuff on it, but it does the job. And in that goes all the extra kit that I carry if I'm out with the family. So, which is best? Well, it really depends on what you want to do. For me, this is 100% best because I have made it suit my purpose. This is not 100% best because it doesn't suit my purpose. It doesn't have a carry strap for when I'm portaging. It doesn't have compartments. It doesn't have a zip pocket for my keys and so on and so forth. Do I use it? Yes, I do. Again, if I'm out with the family, I want to and it's a cold day and I want to carry a couple of change robes, then they go in that rather than carrying them all individually, because in here is another change robe. I think this is a passenger one, can't remember. But it's horses for courses, and Multi-Stevo's absolutely right. If all you need fits in a dry bag, take it in a dry bag. If you want something more adaptable, then maybe something like this will suit, with all the adaptations that I've made, because I've clipped this bit on the end and I've put the red paddle pouch on the other end and so on. The only thing I would say, where are we? This is an X-Bed ripstop nylon dry bag, and it's good. This is an Amazon ripstop nylon dry bag, and it is, how can I put this politely, not good. It's fine for just chucking stuff in, so if I'm taking food, then it goes in one of these and it goes inside the dry bag. It is not good in and of itself. It's flimsy, it leaks water, they all do. I bought a set of about 8 of them. They are all rubbish. None of these leak. This one doesn't leak, the Gull one. That's probably 30 years old. This one's probably about 10 years old, doesn't leak. This one I've never tested fully, but I think it's probably alright. I've got a couple of OEX ones and they seem okay. But for external use, if I was just chucking it underneath the straps or whatever, I would always go with a PVC one. Amazon or wherever. I would not get the nylon ones. They just damage too easily, and like I say, the Amazon ones are not great at all. So that's probably an overfull, over-explained explanation of my bag thoughts. Hope it's helpful to someone. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.